Let's be honest. The insurance model is broken. Thanks to Crowd Health, we can do something about it. Crowd Health puts your health care back in your hands. No huge premiums or high deductibles, no surprises. Use the promo code FEARLESS at joincrowdhealth.com. That's joincrowdhealth.com, promo code FEARLESS. I watched Game 5 of the WNBA Finals, the series deciding Game 5 last night, the Minnesota Lynx and the New York Liberty. And I'm glad that I did, because it says a lot about what's going on in the sports world. It was an embarrassment for the WNBA last night. It was proof that this league is so heavily dependent on Caitlin Clark. It's proof that these games are manipulated. And I know that's a strong statement. That's why this over-the-shoulder says rigged, because the WNBA and sports now are so into narrative, so anti-merit, so into what's the best story for the league, that they went out of their way and did everything in their power to make sure the New York Liberty won their first championship in the 28-year history of the WNBA. It's New York's first title since X, Y, and Z. And they made some officiating late in that game that Tim Donaghy has to be somewhere just laughing his rear end off. Like, oh my God, I thought the Sacramento Kings-Lakers series from years ago, I thought that was rigged. Did you watch this? This is what happens when they destroy merit across the board. This whole DEI mentality that is pervasive throughout American institutions, and everybody's trying to mimic DEI. And so what is DEI? Obviously, it's diversity, equity, inclusion. Obviously, it favors people's sexuality, skin color, and all this other stuff. But what it really is the destruction of merit. And a few little people at the top getting to decide who does have success and who doesn't have success. DEI, and many of you are into the racial component of it. And yes, that has to be explored. But at the heart of DEI, it's just the destruction of merit. And if you build a society without merit, where a few little elites get to decide who does have success and who doesn't have success, what you end up with is what happened at the end of this WNBA final series, where the power masters, the power brokers, the people running the league, they say, hey, we need the New York Liberty to win this game. And it ain't just me. The NBA players, LeBron James, was it Dame Lillard I saw, and Isaiah Thomas I saw, not the Isaiah Thomas, but the other Isaiah Thomas. These guys are all tweeting about this in real time, like, holy cow, look at this officiating. Man, the New York Liberty the Minnesota Lynx got absolutely screwed and annihilated. Let me show you the clips. I think there's two different clips. Do we have Breanna Stewart with the obvious traveling? I know we have the foul, but the foul that was called at the end of regulation. But there was also, like, this woman took 6 steps before putting the basketball on the floor on this shot where they called the foul, that she went to the line, shot 2 free throws, and sent the game into overtime. Let's start with that clip. The clip I've been talking about. Could we start with that clip? It's shot number 4. I mean, she didn't get touched. If there was any contact, she initiated. Look at this. She took 6 steps. Here's the worst thing about this. They went to replay because Minnesota rightfully challenged the foul call. There is no foul. There's better angles to this. There is no foul, and Breanna Stewart initiated the contact, and she took 6 steps before putting the basketball on the floor. They could have called traveling. And when they went to replay, they certainly could have overturned the foul call. But the other part of this that you're perhaps missing is just how awful this game was. I mean, it was bad product. Sabrina Ionescu, their star guard, who complained about making the second team all WNBA team after game 3, took a little subtle shot at Caitlin Clark. She went 1 of 19 from the field. 1 of 19 from the field. You know, that's really hard to do. Really hard. In the last 2 games, game 4 and 5, I think she shot 6 of 34 from the field. Breanna Stewart, 2-time MVP, she went 4 of 15 from the field. These people said, hey, Angel Reese, hold my beer. You think you can't play offense? Watch what we do in game 5, this series finale. The team that won shot 30% from the field, 2 of 23 from three-point range, won the game because they were sent to the free throw line either 23 or 25 times, and the Minnesota Lynx shot 8 free throws. And Cheryl Reeve, the head coach of the Minnesota Lynx, had every right to be irate. I don't even like Cheryl Reeve. She's the woman that, you know, hates Caitlin Clark and left and participated in leaving Caitlin Clark off the Olympic team. Let's play shot number 6, where she just says it flat out. This thing was stolen from us. Shot 6.
I know all the headlines will be Reeve cries foul. Bring it on, right? Bring it on, because this shit was stolen from us. Bring it on.
Hats off to you, lady, because you're 1,000% right. Between the officiating, how poorly the New York Liberty played, and just both teams played poorly, to just be honest. I mean, an overtime game was decided. What was this final score? 67-62? I mean, they couldn't score. They were exhausted. They can't handle a 5-game series. They were literally exhausted. And they're expanding to a 7-game series next year. No one wants to see that. They need to thank God there was a Sunday night football game on a Major League Baseball playoff game on last night, and that few people probably stuck through this or watched it. And then it's overshadowed by Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, because if people had watched this, it's like, holy cow, what are these people doing without Caitlin Clark? They dump on their meal ticket, and this is the product they put out? The one woman worth watching? They take a dump on her, and then they put this product out, and they're talking about more teams coming to this league? They're expanding the league. They don't have, there's 12 teams, 12 players on each team, 144 players. There's not 144 players to fill up the rosters they have now. I want to play you this extended, this is like a 50-second clip. This is shot number 8 of just what I witnessed and what anybody that watched this game witnessed. This is a little 50-second clip of action from that WNBA Finals game last night. Play shot 8.
Time we've seen that. The first was in the first quarter. McBride understanding she has the mismatch, going to multiple moves to get around her.
Big bucket from McBride. Somley center of the lane. Can't finish. Gets it back. In the corner. Thornton. No. And New York 0 for 13 from 3 in game 5. 1-point Liberty lead. Williams into the paint. Flips it up. Wanted a whistle. Did not get it. Liberty with a little pace. Semi-transition. Jones trying to grab it. Trapped in the corner. New York could take a timeout if they need to. Instead, Jones throws it away. Don't want to give away possessions in a game like this as Williams now steps out.
That's what that game looked like. I sat through it, watched the other stuff while I'm watching it, but it was a brutal, brutal game. And they're expanding these women were exhausted. The 5-game series wore them out, and they're going to 7. They're adding more teams. They don't have the talent to fill up the teams they have right now. The quality of play isn't good enough. This is the worst run sports league in the history of America. They get one gift, Caitlin Clark, and the entire league, for the most part, hates Caitlin Clark and tries to diminish Caitlin Clark and want to showcase all of these other women that people aren't interested in. And then they want to take a dump on Caitlin Clark fans and call them racist. This is the worst run league in the history of American sports. And then they rig the finals to make sure the New York Liberty can win, and they rig it, and the 2 best players on the Liberty, Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, play like hot garbage in game 4 and 5. You couldn't play any worse than they played in game 5. And it's all about narrative. Holly Rowe, love you to death, but Lord have mercy, you got one of the hardest jobs in the world. You're trying to sell this after everybody just sat through, like, their eyes are bleeding if you watch that game. And Holly Rowe comes on camera and starts calling this a beautiful game of basketball. Play SOT 13.
Well, congratulations to the New York Liberty, the 2020 WNBA champions. But first, I want to say a special thank you to the Minnesota Lynx. I don't know about you, but that is some of the most beautiful basketball we have ever seen in WNBA Finals history, and both teams deserve a ton of credit and love.
67-62, overtime. Winning team shoots 30% from the field. In the overtime, they outscore them 7-2. There's more turnovers than made baskets in the overtime. 2 of your best players that are on the winning team. One is 4 of 15 from the field. The other is 1 of 19 from the field. No one can make a shot. And I get it. Holly Rowe has a job to do. She's got to say, this is history. This is incredible. And Sabrina Ionescu's, I would have been embarrassed if I was Sabrina Ionescu. I'd have been embarrassed if I was Breanna Stewart. They sent her to the line. They handed her the game. She wasn't fouled. She took 6 steps. The whole thing's rigged. Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.